What if the Golden Knights do not sign any of their unrestricted free agents during this offseason period? What would a lineup of current roster players look like? That comes your way next, right here on Locked On Golden Knights.
You're Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hi again, everyone. Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen every day. Find us wherever you get your podcast, and please subscribe to our Locked On Golden Knights YouTube channel. We are brought to you today by Gametime. Download the Gametime app today. Use the promo code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off of your first purchase. The Golden Knights, as we know, now have 6 UFAs led by Jonathan Marchessault, Alec Martinez, Chandler Stevenson, William Carrier, Michael Amadio, and Anthony Mantha. Today, hypothetically, Chris, we will examine what a VGK lineup could look like if the Golden Knights fill their line combinations, using only current roster players, correct?
Yeah, that's it. We're going to count Pavel Dorofeev as getting some type of contract because he's going to be an RFA, and those deals always get worked out.
Okay, so let's go through lines. I think that's the easiest way to do it, right?
Yep.
So line one, I would have Eichel, Barbashev, and potentially Mark Stone. I'm having some issues there trying to fill that top line with current players.
I got Brisson instead of Stone. Just
again, I had him initially.
Hypothetical. Trying to balance a little bit, but yeah.
Okay, second line. What do you think of Brisson with Tomas Hertl and Dorofeev? Could that work?
My concern would be with 2 young players, both with, I believe, Brisson definitely, and Dorofeev maybe, 80 NHL games played, 75 NHL games played, something like that. The experience, Hertl can anchor that. In my second line, I'm going Hertl, Stone, and Dorofeev. So I got you're loading up a little bit on your top line. I got a little balance in the top 6.
Then the third line, I'm starting to struggle here. Believe it or not, is this showing us that there is not enough experience and talent that would come up from Henderson? Because I would go with Howden, Carlson, Ronbjorg. I don't even know. Who would you put on that third line?
I'm with you on Howden and Carlson, and I got Cotter up on the right wing. I don't know how well Cotter or Howden can switch wings or anything like that, but Cotter, Howden, Carlson, it's a nice heavy line with the right blend of defense. You just hope one of these days that Cotter's goal scoring can improve. Howden is who he is, but you really hope that Cotter can kind of get that scoring touch going.
Did you see where this Indiana judge ruled yesterday that, tacos and burritos are considered sandwiches? I'm getting this is my teaser for the Burrito Brothers. So I would have sandwiched between, you like that, Kolasar and Cotter.
I'm with you on Juan Kolasar. I got Ronbjorg down there on the fourth line.
Okay, we both were thinking Ronbjorg at least.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, that's what's left outside of that. That's the thing. After that, then we're starting to peel to, then we're starting to look at the Henderson players like Morelli and stuff like that, and that's where it gets a little Rempel. But we think Rempel's going overseas. Byron Fraze, Denisenko. But Denisenko's not going to be a fourth liner, but those are the options. As far as I guess number 19 and 20 for the forwards next year. You're probably looking at Fraze, Denisenko, Morelli would be kind of competing in that spot. But Denisenko, I don't know. I mean, we talked about him the other day. We'll see if he can get it.
Why are you so down on this guy?
Because I was so high on him, and he's let me down whenever he comes to the NHL. AHL, dude's got it. AHL, the dude's got it figured out. He's nearly a point per game player. NHL, not necessarily there yet. Maybe another camp will fix that. Who knows?
Okay, let's move to defensive pairings with just players that VGK has in this system. And I think we disagreed on this pairing earlier. Hannafin and Petrangelo.
That's how I have it because I think
you do
that's
have
how
it.
it's going to
Okay.
be. But I would like more balance. I would like one of them with White Cloud, but that's just me.
Okay, and then we have McNabb and Theodore or Haig. How would you?
No, it's
Who would you
McNabb
put on
Theodore. That's unless
McNabb
Theodore's
Theodore?
out of the equation, that's not or McNabb. If one of those two is out of the equation, then obviously you figure it out. But those two, they're since season one. I mean, that's not changing.
You don't think you change it, huh?
No need.
Okay, and then my third pairing would be combination White Cloud and Hutton or Korzak. How would you pair the third defensive
Well, White
pairing?
Cloud and Haig is how it would be out of camp, almost certainly. And then Hutton and Korzak would be 7 and 8 as far as basically, if a lefty needs to come in, it's Hutton. If a righty needs to come in, it's Korzak. That's kind of how it would get worked out. Obviously, injuries and with have you will definitely probably see plenty of opportunity for Hutton and Korzak.
Are tacos and burritos seriously considered sandwiches? And why would a judge have to rule on such nonsense?
Why are we even talking about it in our podcast?
The
We
Flying
talk about
Burrito
nonsense.
Brothers.
This is worse than nonsense.
We're going to break up the Flying Burrito Brothers on the fourth line.
Who are the Burrito Brothers? Juan Colasar?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm asking you. I don't know. Is that who it is?
Well, in Carrier.
Well, Carrier, we're assuming is carrying away, but yeah.
Okay. 6 UFAs. And I think it just shows us a lack of pure talent there. I mean, outside of a top 6 that I think you could field and be competitive, outside of that, lines 3 and 4, it's just very thin.
Well, I mean, listen, you knew this was coming. Kelly McCrimmon has all but planted that seed. It's not like anyone can go spend 5 minutes on Cap Friendly and see the Golden Knights situation. Golden Knights beneficiaries of the LTIR. No one's going to skirt that topic. Definitely not on this show. But now all of a sudden the chickens are coming to roost, so to speak, and now they have to find a way to ice a compliant roster. And with the roster, me and Tony just went over. It's the same group of players, just different spots on a couple of the forward lines. There's somewhere between $6.5, $7 million ish is how much money the Golden Knights have. And then now you look at the free agents: Marchessault, Stevenson, Carrier. There you go. Amadio, Hannafin, Alec Martinez. Alec Martinez, I'm hearing through the tea leaves that retirement is almost certain there. We'll see
it's
how
certain. It's certain.
we'll see if that actually comes to fruition or not. The one question that I do have one contract that I have a question about. Mike Amadio. Mike Amadio is going to look at Brett Howden, look at his contract and say, I'm better. I'm better than that guy. Brett Howden last season, his statistics overall, he had a goal in the postseason. I don't care about that. But let's compare the two players. Mike Amadio winds up 27 points, 73 games. The Swiss Army knife can go anywhere. Where Howden, 72 games, 19 points. Howden minus 11 versus Amadio plus 4. And I would argue Amadio had much higher responsibilities up and down the lineup and in tougher spots where Howden was the beneficiary of being on a line with Mark Stone for many games throughout the season. So if Howden's making 1.9, what does Amadio get? What's the value set at based at
the
VGK
value
numbers?
Jeez.
And that's tough. That's tough to figure that out. I mean, it's over $2 million, but I don't think Amadio is a $2 million player either.
So the thing about these UFAs, the one thing they have going for themselves, but also their agents now, they all know that there is an increase. What?
They have a ring. They got a ring. That helps too.
That definitely helps. Correct. Absolutely. But their agents now know that there's an increase in the salary cap. And so everyone's trying to go after, but that's only going to go so far. What's the increase? Over 4 million?
Yeah, 4 plus or minus, but yeah, I think it's going from 83 to 87.5 or something like that. And yeah, I mean, listen, rising tide lifts all boats. You're going to see everyone trying to get their hands in that cookie jar and get a couple extra bucks. But I mean, there's concerns about Marchessault. There's concerns about Stevenson. Mantha is all but gone. So I mean, now you start looking at the other free agents: Carrier, Amadio. what's the right numbers and stuff. And if you're using Brett Howden as your comparable, Mike Amadio's 2.3, 2.5, and I don't know if Vegas is going to want to go that route with Amadio, which is terribly unfortunate because, like I said, he is the Swiss Army knife of our forwards. He could play any spot up and down the lineup, and I mean, top six is not ideal for Mike Amadio, but he can pass the eye test if need be for a period of a week or two to get the job done.
Yeah, we're talking about Tomas Hertl, right? Might be a little bit off of the script today. We're talking about Tomas Hertl. What?
We're off the script. We never do that.
Yeah, we never go. Yeah, exactly. So Tomas Hertl, I said perhaps VGK got fleeced by picking up Hertl. I have seen this narrative now at least 2 or 3 times, as well as Robin Leonard. Okay, I think it's time for a break. I'm a little chippy
today.
We
are going right to break. Okay, all right, I wasn't sure we had.
Can we do that? Yeah, I don't know where we're going. Coming up next, what will the number one need be for VGK this offseason? We'll discuss that when we return right here on Locked On Golden Knights. It's winner take all time in the NBA and NHL, and FanDuel is giving you a shot to bring home a big win of your own. And right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $150 to bet on point spreads, money lines, player props, and much, much more. Visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and make every playoff shot count. Go to FanDuel. FanDuel is America's #1 sports book. Back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights, Tony Cardasco, Chris Golick from Las Vegas. What's that? What
are special effects?
What'd you just do right there? Freaking me out.
I had to blow my nose.
Why am I on this side of the screen today?
Why'd you say something? I wanted people to comment. Why'd you say anything?
I shouldn't have said anything. Thanks for making us your first listen every day. Find us wherever you get your podcast. Please subscribe to Locked On Golden Knights. That, of course, is our YouTube channel. And, of course, coming up tomorrow, WTF, What the Friday. And we look forward to all of your comments, as always. And hopefully you'll be as chippy as I am today. And Saturdays, it's the YouTube exclusive, and that is Chris times Chris Jr. With expected free agent departures, what will the biggest need be? What are some of the biggest holes in the VGK lineup that they're going to have to address this offseason?
That's the thing. I mean, in those lines we just did, I don't mind the third and fourth line right there. You would like to see some scoring punch come. William Karlsson, of course, another, outbreak of scoring for him would be nice, but it's kind of hard to anticipate that with Brett Howden and Paul Cotter. Ron Bjerg being an everyday an everyday contributor to the lineup. I don't know if that is the best path to success. So that's where maybe you then look at, a way to get Cotter down onto the fourth line. And then now you have a third line player come in who can maybe play up in that second line. So the question for me is McCrimmon's going to spend that $6 million. He's not going to wait too long in free agency if it gets to that point, assuming there's $6 million available. So does he look for 2 or 3 $2 million players and hope one of them pops into what, I'm not saying they're going to find a 30 goal scorer like a Jonathan Marchessault for $2.5 million. But, reason I mentioned Moneyball, well, athletics, #1 coming to Vegas, but, you're not looking to replace Marchessault in a dollar for dollar sense. You're not looking for his direct replacement, but you replace his 43 goals by, 2 players in the lineup, 2 $3 million players. So that's some of the questions that I have. Is it ideal for the Golden Knights to break camp with Brisson and Dorofeev being entrusted in top 6 roles? I think that's kind of a concern. Do I feel even better with one of them on the third line? Not necessarily. So if I'm looking at this Golden Knights forward lines, the top 4 forward lines, you would like to see somebody with some juice. Maybe, sure, 30, 40 goal scorer would be amazing, but the reality is you're probably not going to find that for, $5-6 million. So maybe a pair of players who can put up, 18, 20 goals that can replace Marchessault's output. Should that be the path the Golden Knights need to go to?
Okay. Do you have any select players? Because I have a couple that they could go after free agency.
I mean, I got the free agent list here. You can
Let
start
me
and I
go.
can
I'll go
comments.
through. Let me go through my two of them. What about a Tyler Toffoli? He made $4 million this year with the Devils. 32 years old, and if you give him a couple of years, around $5 million, I think he could be a good fit. I think he's got something in the vicinity too of like 19 or 20 playoff goals, so he's playoff tested. And they did need some goal scoring, of course, in the playoffs. Did VGK? Um, I think maybe on the second line, I think that could be good. And then if Marchessault leaves, there's only one big time free agent I think that they need to go after if he doesn't get signed already, and that's Sam Reinhart. Boy, he's really developed into a monster.
Yeah, well,
94 points, 57 goals this past season.
that's a $10 million player, Tony. That's going to be a lot of work that needs to be done.
Um,
Toffoli, I like. The age concerns me, obviously, but
a couple of years, make a run.
no. Listen, if the
I mean,
Golden
don't
Knights
don't
shiny new
sign him
toys.
to a VGK-esque 8-year deal.
Only problem is you have to do like a sign and trade and have other people pick. I'm not saying it's not possible, but I don't know. I mean, Jake Gensel could be in play as well. That's another one that was talked about, and he'll be a free
Kill him,
agent
my
coming
stinking
up.
Rangers. Get him out of here.
Your Rangers might be out of here pretty soon. Be careful there. Just kind of going through, like I said, I'm just quickly going through this. I mean, Elias Lindholm, but that's going to be a center. I don't think that's the right way. Stamkos, his age, I just
Wait,
that. It's
wait.
gonna be a lot of money.
Wait, though. Hang on just one second. With Lindholm,
Hang,
we
holding.
know the affinity that Bruce Cassidy, the suntan kid, which is going to stick, I think. We know that Cassidy likes a lot of setters, and he wants to play two centers for some odd reason on the same line. Well, I get it because he wants them to win faceoffs for once. Uh, so why not add another center to replace a Chandler Stevenson?
Yeah, I mean, we replaced him already. I mean, basically, the Golden Knights without Stevenson right now, the center is coming in the next season. You're looking at Eichel, Hurdle, Carlson, Wah, and then Howden can chip in as well, and Ronbjerg. So I mean, there's
No, he
six.
wants Hurdle on the wing.
Hurdle's not playing the wing next year, Tony.
I
Knock it off.
hope not. I hope
Hurdle is
not.
not playing the wing
Please,
next year.
please stop
That would
that.
be a very bizarre circumstance. Teuvo Teravainen, another one you're looking at. Hurricanes got a weird spot. No clue what's going to happen. But
Can they trade him today?
what's that?
Can they make a trade for him today?
Not from Carolina because they're still in the playoffs. But
That's why I want him out of there.
no, I mean, listen, Teuvo Teravainen, 29 years old. Last year made 5.4, 20 goals 4 times, but he also reliable. I remember watching him with the Blackhawks kind of coming up a long time ago. So that could be an option. I like Toffoli, just 32 years old. I mean, remember, we're talking a Golden Knights roster that now 3 seasons in a row has been like in the top 3 as far as man games lost. So do
What
they want
about
to add any 30-year-olds? I don't know if that's the right spot.
2 years? 2 years. Hurdle, Dorofeyev, and Toffoli.
I mean, what about a Patrick Kane?
No, come on.
I mean, I know we're talking age and stuff like that here. Adam Henrique, when you're Rangers player, or no, is he Vancouver? I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, he's not with the Rangers.
Bring Dave Perron back. Bring Dave Perron back for the Twilight here. It's looking like not a lot of the age of unrestricted free agency in the NHL begins somewhere between 25 and 27 years old, depending on the player and their time of service and stuff like that. So that's what makes it interesting to see how teams build their rosters, because basically when someone is in your team's possession, so to speak, they're yours until they're between 25 and 27 years old. So it's interesting to see how that affects free agency, because you don't have a lot of 22, 23-year-old up and coming players you can build around. So a lot of these players are kind of set in their ways. Jason Zucker, there you go. Vegas, he's got ties obviously to Southern Nevada. That'd be fun.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, we're talking free agency area. This is fun.
It has to be a top 6 forward, though, that they're going to have to go after.
I'm with you. I don't think breaking camp, assuming Brisson and Dorofeyev or Howden, whatever you want to talk about asphyxiations with players, Howden being in the top 6 lineup, I don't think that is good for business. That's where obviously Marchessault pushing everyone down one notch would certainly help a little bit. But again, Marchessault would swallow up every ounce of available money and then some. There would have to be a corresponding move. We've talked about Theodore and McNabb and stuff like that. And I don't think anything happens with a notable forward. I mean, Nick Waugh has so much value, even though he's buried on the fourth line. Nick Waugh is someone I wish they could transform to a wing and be good at it. And he's not that he's not good at it, but he's much better as a center. And it also creates a matchup, a mismatch with other teams because they're putting, their lower lines against Nick Waugh, who is not a fourth line player. It's just how it works out in Vegas. So there's a way for Waugh to elevate his game into the top six. And then now you drop down a Brett Howden to center that fourth line or something like that. That also creates a lot of balance and opens up a possibility for an even more powerful line if they were to sign, a $5-6 million free agents.
You made me we could put this in the parking lot, but they're going to have to work OT this summer. The made men in their Teflon suits, they're going to have to work this summer.
Is that segment 1 tomorrow? Kind of.
Yeah, well, let's do that tomorrow. Segment 1. That's how we plan the show. Coming up next,
at least we do it this way. We have a visual. We have a recording of. We can go back to watch the previous show and yeah.
Coming up next, we have an NHL playoff update. Stay with us right here on Locked On Golden Knights. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and the lowest price guarantee, Gametime now takes the guesswork out of buying Major League Baseball tickets. That's right. What application feature pleasantly surprised you? Well, you have to talk about the last-minute tickets, the flash deals, the zone deals. Easy to find and buy Major League Baseball tickets, and for every kind of event right here in our area. Views from all the seats in the venue, lowest price guarantee, event cancellation protection, which is really big, job loss protection. That's right. When you buy tickets, you lose your job, and you are covered with Gametime. Gametime ticket coverage, your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets today with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, use the promo code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off of your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and use the redeem code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off. Download the Gametime app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights. I don't like that single screen. I've got to get used to that. Tony Cardasco, Chris Golick reporting from Las Vegas. We appreciate you making us your first listen every day. And please make sure that you leave us some comments for WTF tomorrow. And I hope that we get some Robin Leonard comments on here because I said he's going to be eligible. The NHL is going to have to make him active in the postseason next year. Okay, don't forget Saturdays too. As to Chris Times, Chris Jr. Show. So Dallas, without
Teuvo Teravainen. I like Teuvo Teravainen next year. Sorry.
Dallas without Rupe Hintz, losing on home ice to Colorado last night. Cale Makar just took over in that game. Colorado was left for dead, now down 3-2. Do you realize that the Avalanche trailed in this series for 292 minutes and 14 seconds in regulation before taking their first lead in the series? That's an amazing stat.
Only thing I'm pissed off about is I was busy working. We had a new release for my business, and I told everyone Colorado is a great bet. The public is all on one side. Everyone's leaving Colorado for dead, like you just said. Rupe Hintz missing the game. You got like a nice plus 114 or something. I said I was going to bet it, and then just got real busy and forgot. And sure as you know what, Avalanche win. Good job, Golick.
And Golick, you sold a big card last night.
We hit a big card. We hit a big Connor Bedard autograph. Let's see if I can get a picture up here for you. I'm sure you can.
That's pretty darn cool.
Let's see. There you go.
Okay, it looks
Connor
okay.
Bedard autographed. Kind of hard to get there, but Connor Bedard autographed Team Canada rookie card. out of a trilogy, probably a $1,500 card we hit for someone.
1,500.
But they hit it. They got out of a $60 spot. It cost them $60, and they walked away with a huge card last night in my stream. So that was awesome.
you open up like a package of cards for 60 clams?
Well, no, so long story short, each box costs about $160. The Blackhawks, if you want to buy the Blackhawks as a team, you buy them per box for $60 because that's obviously the most expensive team because of Connor Bedard. So somebody picked the right box that had that card for $60, and they walked away with probably $1,200, $1,300 Connor Bedard hit.
Wow, that's a good investment.
Doesn't always work out like that, but last night it did.
I think a good investment tonight might be taking the Rangers. Oh my gosh. I was with a bunch of scribes the other night at the Aces game. And all the guys, the writers, the guys that you can trust still, maybe in this industry. So in any
ones
event,
you mentioned, you're with good people. You're with good people.
Yeah. The ones that, good dudes and dudettes. And so the Rangers, man, I said, they know that that's my team. I go, this is going 7. I knew this from the beginning. I've got Ajita already this morning. They look to close out the Canes tonight. The benefit, I think, was having that extra day of rest because Shesterkin was wearing down for some reason. Could be beneficial for my Rangers tonight. And I think we're going back to the Garden.
No, I don't know. I mean, are the Rangers going to lose 3 in a row? I know the sports fan in you is concerned right now, and that's fair. I'd be the same way. I mean, this is how Golden Knight fans were feeling going into Game 6 against the Stars last season. Rangers, looks like you're plus about 140 tonight. 37% of the American betting public is only backing the Rangers, meaning Carolina is getting a lot of support. Rangers are a great bet, no different than how I said the Avalanche were a nice bet last night. So I'm probably going to make a financial. I'm going to back my opinion with cash at my local betting app in probably about 10 minutes.
Have things been? Is this one of the more unpredictable postseasons in the NHL where teams are just, you think they're out of it, they come back. Dallas, put the defensive vice on teams, and then they give up 3 goals there in the third period. Or is this the most unpredictable postseason, that we've seen in a while?
First round, no. I mean, Dallas, Vegas was fun. The rest of the first rounds, Toronto, Boston goes 7. Otherwise, the rest of the first rounds were pretty chalky, or there was a toss-up with Colorado and Winnipeg, at least when the season started. But second round, we thought you might have a couple of it would be a lot of 5-game, series and a lot of gentlemen sweeps and stuff. And the potential for 4 Game 7s is there. It is there. Yeah. And I mean, Vancouver and Edmonton, I saw David Staples put something up. He was talking about high danger chances and how the high danger chances don't really favor one team, and talking about the importance of goaltending in that series.
So that's an even series, even on paper.
Even on everything. The score, everything is even about the Vancouver Edmonton series. We talked about your Rangers, Florida, Boston. I mean, Boston was left for dead, it felt like, in that game, and now they got a home game where who knows what's going to happen with Brad Marchand. Apparently everyone in Boston feels terrible for Brad Marchand all of a sudden. Like he's this angel. Like, no one wants to see someone get decked in the head and get hurt. But by God, if there's one player, like, just spend 5 minutes on YouTube and just look at Brad Marchand's worst hits and things that he's done. PK Subban had some comments about he had it coming and stuff like that. When you watch the totality of what PK Subban said, it dulls the sword a little bit there, and you hope Marchand can get back out there and stuff. But I mean, God, there's sometimes karma has a funny way. The hockey gods have a funny way of evening things out sometimes.
Yeah, what a crazy series though. The Panthers and Boston, where Boston lost. They lost 3 straight, I think, in this series. And then, of course, like it's 3-1. You go back to South Florida. You look to put the finishing touches there, have the handshake line, and then Boston comes back and wins. It's been very unpredictable. We appreciate everyone.
You got goalie interference.
That's a goalie interference
happening series. Every other game and every other minute, it seems like.
No, every game, not every other game.
Yeah, no, there's no shortage of storylines and stuff. I mean, Vancouver Edmonton probably has the least storylines, considering you have Stuart Skinner and the Shevalt. How can't I say the name?
I know.
Whatever.
She loves.
Yeah, there you go. You got these two goalies, nobodies. They're somebodies, but they're nobodies when the season started, and even in the playoffs, they're nobodies. I'm not knocking them as people, just no one knows of them besides Calvin Pickard in Vegas. You know what I mean? So it's fun. This is the playoffs, and I hope the Vegas fans that were claiming they're never going to watch hockey for the rest of the postseason, hope they turn their TVs back on, because if you're one of those angry Vegas fans that can't watch hockey right now, you're missing a lot of fun. You're missing so much fun.
So the last game in Edmonton, we tried to get out of here, but here we go again. The last game in Edmonton, Bill Foley. If this were here in Vegas at T-Mobile, Foley would have lost his mind, because more than half of the arena were opposing fans in that series. So Edmonton.
Which game was that?
The Edmonton series. And Vancouver, ton of Vancouver's in the Vancouver fans in the arena going bananas when they scored.
Yeah, no, they scored that goal late, it was the Connor Garland. It wasn't even the tying goal; it was the Connor Garland goal. And I was passively watching the game. I was doing something on my phone. I heard the crowd cheer, and it's like what I hear at T-Mobile, like especially if you're using the restroom when the road team scores a goal. Depending on who it is, like if it's a Detroit or an Edmonton or someone that travels well, by the roar of the crowd, when you're in the tunnel or if you're in the restroom, you don't know right away until the horn goes if it's the home team or not.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, let's wrap up today's show. Tomorrow, WTF, we'll talk about the made men. I think we need to get to them, and we'll have some juicy takes on that.
Accountability of the main men. I like that. That's gonna be a good topic.
Are you going to put must win for the made men on the screen?
Maybe in about July.
Can we incorporate do or die on the slate again, even though VGK's out of the play?
Shout out to Locked On Avalanche for that one.
They're the best. Those guys, the good dudes. Okay. Yeah. We appreciate everyone tuning in, especially our everydayers. WTF tomorrow. Get those comments going, get them cooking. And then on Saturday, it is the Chris times Chris. I'm discombobulated with me being on this side of the screen. I don't know what to do. Of course, Chris times Chris show, Saturdays, the YouTube exclusive for my man, Chris Golick. Over there? Where is he? Okay.
The Brady Bunch now. Look up and down.
I'm Tony Cardasco from Las Vegas. We'll see you tomorrow right here on Locked On Golden Knights. And please take care.